It is 8 p.m. and here are our top stories. A struggling school district pushed to the brink of closing.
I've watched it since 1998. Since 1998, and it hasn't changed.
Tonight, the Board of Education offering another chance for Adams 14 to turn itself around.
There's a problem here, and it needs to be solved now.
Corey Wise is firing back. We go one-on-one with Doug Coe's former superintendent as he files a new complaint against the district.
The termination was without cause. And when you look at the reasoning, I think there was a plan.
Plus, Aurora making strides in a massive backlog of criminal investigations.
It is possible some crimes may not have been investigated for 3 months or for several months.
And a downtown Denver staple gets a much-needed makeover.
The renovation of 16th Street Mall is reinfusing vibrancy and life into the center of our city.
And good evening, and thank you for watching Denver 7 News on Local 3. I'm Ann Trujillo.
I'm Danny New. Well, the embattled Adams 14 School District is getting another shot at improving its performance. Tonight, the Colorado Board of Education voted unanimously for the district to return next month with an improvement plan.
And Denver 7 has reported extensively on the issues plaguing the district for more than a decade, including poor performance and lagging graduation rates. Now, back in February, Adams 14 fired MGT Consulting. That is the outside management group hired to oversee the district's day-to-day operations. Adams 14 then began creating its own improvement plan in March. But the state board denied that request and decided tonight that the district will need outside help to turn things around.
On our Denver 7, Rob Harris has been going in depth on the district for weeks now. Rob, can you explain what tonight's decision means for the students, parents, and teachers moving forward?
Yeah, absolutely, Danny. And I think the big top line for those parents specifically and the students who I've been talking to is that Adams City High School and the other schools here at Adams 14 will be staying open. And that was the big concern. A state review panel in March had recommended the closure of Adams City High School. And the parents that I had talked to and the students, even those who were concerned about the performance at Adams City High School, did not want to see it closed. So the fact that it is staying open is a relief to those parents and to the teachers and educators here at the district. However, there's a second part of that question, which is how much control is going to stay in local hands. And that is actually still up in the air because the State Board of Education today voted unanimously to give Adams 14 leaders a little less than a month to come up with this improvement plan for the district. And this is the new part. It has to include at least partial control from an outside management firm. The state said it'll specifically be looking at what authority the district will yield to this outside managing firm when it decides whether to approve it or not. If the board finds the plan satisfactory, then it'll be in place by the time the next school year starts in August. But if not, the board could vote to reject the plan and instead place the district completely under the control of an outside firm again.
We have a lot of work to do. I am extremely excited that the State Board of Education demonstrated today a genuine interest in hearing from us. We haven't had this opportunity the entire year. 10 minutes we were in front of them in September. And they demonstrated today a genuine interest in getting to know us, to hear from us, and they allowed us to tell our own story.
So the plan from the district needs to be before the board by its next meeting, which is May 11th, which is when that vote from the board could come today. We asked the Adams 14 superintendent in a press conference just a few minutes ago how she feels about that timeline. She says it is certainly an aggressive timeline and they have their work cut out for them to come up with this plan and have it ready for the board by that May 11th deadline. But she says they're up to the challenge, specifically because the future of this district and the control remaining in local hands remains in the balance coming with that vote from the board. Back to you guys.
Thank you, Rob. And you might remember his story from yesterday when we took a 360 in-depth look on the future of the Adams 14 School District. You can find that if you want to check that out. That story is on our website, thedenverchannel.com now. And of course, you can also stream that on the Denver 7 Plus app.
And turning a school around, it can be hard work, and here is proof it can be done. Between 2016 and 2019, Eagleton Elementary in West Denver went from having low performance ratings to meeting state standards. The principal says truly connecting with students online and in person was one way the school was able to move the needle toward progress. The approach to academics changed as well.
We have worked to really ground teachers in the standards, unpacking standards, knowing what the standards require of their instruction so that they're providing grade level, rigorous work for our students.
In 2019, the school was in the green, meeting expectations on the majority of performance metrics.
Former Douglas County School Superintendent Corey Wise has filed a charge with the EEOC claiming that he was unlawfully fired. Today, Denver 7 anchor Shannon Ogden met with Wise for his first interview since his very public, emotionally charged dismissal in February by the newly elected conservative school board majority. Wise says he was fired because he supported the school district's mask mandate and equity policy, while that newly elected majority opposed both and has since gotten rid of both. Wise's attorney says that they are prepared to take this to trial, and while they don't have a monetary amount in mind, they say compensation to make up for the unfulfilled 2 years of Wise's contract, benefits, and damages could be in the 7 figures. And Wise himself says he wants justice.
I want what's right. I think when things are violated, it needs to be improved, and that accountability side.
If you knew then what you know now, would you have done anything differently?
No.
For now, Wise is working as the community superintendent for Jefferson County Schools through the end of this semester. And after that, he told Denver 7 he's just been hired as interim assistant superintendent for Cherry Creek Schools. Meanwhile, Douglas County Schools says it has no comment on the complaint. And coming up on Denver 7 News at 10, we'll have more of the interview with Wise, including why he recorded the meeting with the school board when he was fired.
A small wildfire has caused mandatory evacuations near Woodland Park. These are pictures from the Teller County Sheriff's Office of the Mills Ranch Road fire. It is burning about 3 to 7 acres right now, and people living in 8 homes have been displaced. Areas north of the road are evacuated.
And look at this. Another wildfire came within just a few feet of Bent's Old Fort National Historic Site near La Junta. The National Park Service shared this picture of the burn scar you can see there. And the fire is currently burning about 1,600 acres and is 25% contained. Meanwhile, the Fort Lyon fire is burning a few miles away and as of now is 50% contained.
The group that uncovered a critical backlog of unprocessed police reports in Aurora says progress has been made. PRI management initially found more than 2,500 reports concerning everything from murder to carjacking, just still in the queue waiting to be cleared. Well, tonight, Aurora is down to a little more than 400 reports. And as for what this backlog says about Aurora crime or the department charged with addressing it, PRI had this to say.
We did not state that as a result of the backlogs in the record section, criminals are out running free. PRI did not state that all of the backlog cases were not being investigated. What we did say, and I quote the report, quote, as a result of the delays in processing police reports, violent crimes reported to the police department may not, and I emphasize, may not be investigated for months, enabling suspects who might, and I emphasize might, otherwise have been investigated and taken into custody to reoffend.
PRI found a number of factors contributing to the backlog. Notably, Aurora did not seem to be documenting what employees working from home were actually doing.
Well, today, Denver's 16th Street Mall is starting to change, and today city officials celebrated the start of its new renovations.
Denver's Mayor Hancock was joined by members of the Downtown Denver Partnership to break ground on this project. And the plan is to make improvements from Market Street to Broadway, and they should be finished by 2024.
Here's Denver 7's Colette Bordelon with details on the project.
The question of the day. What makes the 16th Street Mall?
Wine and dine, sports, I think it has it all.
Answers found in the shops and food along the street.
It's pretty much the heart of Denver. It's where all the action is.
But inside the stores are the people who make the place.
Tivate is a woman-owned company.
Taylor Odoricio is one of 5 entrepreneurs who are the future of a few vacant storefronts.
So we have a basically wall installation that'll be on this back wall.
She's part of Pop-Up Denver, where businesses like hers are being funded by the Downtown Denver Partnership to set up shop for at least 3 months. The goal is for them to stay.
It's really cool that our brand gets to be down here to help encourage and revitalize the 16th Street Mall.
We met with Taylor on the same day the city broke ground on multi-million-dollar renovations for the mall, a plan that's been in the works for more than a decade.
Well, one more reason to come back, love their city, take pride in their city.
Renderings of the finished product seen through virtual reality goggles.
Oh!
Showing more trees, wider sidewalks, and more space for people to gather.
Having more eyes on the street, that I think is what helps create a vibrant and exciting space for people.
But even as the mayor was presenting the plan,
we hear you, ma'am. Thank you, but we're doing something for the whole city. Thank you.
a woman yelled at him, angry at how the city has handled the homeless population.
I certainly have seen quite a bit of homelessness and a little bit of drug use.
We asked what the renovations would do about that.
Bringing positivity, bringing activity, all of those things build a better place.
Basically saying more business and foot traffic brings a different energy.
I think it's community. It's something that you share with loved ones and your friends.
One that Odoricio is excited to share at her new store this summer. Colette Bordelon, Denver 7.
Coming up on Denver 7 News at 8, new video released of the Michigan police officer who shot and killed a man during a traffic stop.
No. Stop. Put your hands right.
Protests growing, the family demanding justice, and an investigation into the officer's actions.
They want the officer to be terminated, and they want the officer to be prosecuted.
Follow the money. A new investigation reveals billions in unspent federal dollars meant for pandemic aid. We track where the money went.
Plus, a local food pantry fighting hunger during Passover.
Passover is a very important holiday for them, but it's also very expensive.
It's been another day of great gusts. I'll let you know if we'll have some lighter winds in the 7 day.